Tracy, Olympia, Jennifer, Ryan, Brennan, John. Did I lose a singer? Ron, I said John. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you, Will and Melissa on sound. Yay! You know, some people go places where they're told that they're bad, and that they shouldn't be happy, and that God forbid they shouldn't be dancing like Kathy McConnell in front of the crowd. That they should feel guilty and bad, and then, you know, you're going to go and chances are, at least in my world, burn forever in hell. Some people actually go to these places willingly. Not every place, but some places. We had kids coming in the door one year, a couple of years ago. One child brought another child, and as they're coming in the door, the new child looked at the other child and said, "Is this one of those places where they yell at you?" No, sweetheart. So I'm delighted that you came. I love 4th of July. I think 4th of July may be my favorite holiday. And I love 4th of July because I have such an affinity with the whole rebel aspect of it. I actually have signers of the Declaration on both sides of my family. Arthur Middleton signed the Declaration on my mother's side, and George Floyd signed it on my father's side. And I feel like I must have had a past life in there, because these things that speak so strongly to my soul when I read them, whether it's the Declaration of Independence or Patrick Henry, give me liberty or give me death. It's like, don't you just want to live that life? I am not going to put up with this anymore. I will leave this life. If you think that I'm going to suffer and struggle and have a terrible time, I'm not going to do it. To be able to jump up on some kind of a stand and to proclaim that is so powerful and wonderful to me. So it all started, I have a little feedback, it all started with a group of, I think it was 13 colonists getting together and writing a letter, just a little note to King George. And King George said, I'm sure that this is being taken care of. They said to King George, you know, we're going to leave, and we just thought we'd tell you why. And so they're moving into the more famous part of the Declaration of Independence, which is, we hold these truths to be self-evident, like anybody could see that. I cut out the qualifying descriptive adjective before anybody. Anybody could see that these are self-evident truths, that we are endowed by our Creator. We're calling the trump card, we're calling God on this. We're endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable, you can't take them away from us, certain inalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yes, those are our rights. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. And then they go on to say, and any government should be set up to secure these rights for their people. And I guess back, 200 plus years ago, that was okay, but we're going to talk about that a little bit more in this talk. We have God-given rights. They are already ours. We don't need to go buy them. We don't need to go rent them. We didn't need to get born into them. We don't need a bill passed to get them. We have God-given rights. That is our freedom to be able to live. And even if someone takes away the body, I'm not dying. I don't know about you. I'm going to go step over the veil. Nancy talks about going back and forth between the veil and here. She talks about all the light beings that are there. She's out there too. She says all of the beings from the Pleiades are in the room, and that the room is so packed she just doesn't know how we can fit in it. But that she steps across the veil and comes back. Even when we lay our body down, we're going to go somewhere. Life continues to live. It's not stuck in our body. I've seen enough bodies without beings to know that that body wasn't it. That body is nothing once the being's gone. And liberty. And the pursuit of happiness. And I would even take the pursuit out. I know people like to play with that a lot. Well, you have the right to pursue happiness. No, we have a God-given right to be happy. Period. End of story. It is this now moment happiness exists for us. It's not how are we going to pursue it, how are we going to work on it, what are we going to do. It is in this now moment that happiness exists, and that is our freedom. I love this idea of freedom because this was a new idea. This whole democracy thing was a brand new idea on the planet. What do you mean you're going to govern yourselves? We're still working on it, I'll give you that. But what do you mean you're going to govern yourselves? How can you do that without someone to tell you what you can and cannot do, where you can and cannot go, what you can and cannot own, who you can and cannot marry? How can you do that? We said, we'll figure it out. And we're still figuring. But I love this idea that says we will live free. Live free, period, end of story. And then we've got this amazing bird. Do you know that Ben Franklin wanted us to have a turkey as our national bird? I'm so glad that didn't work out. The eagle is what the Romans held on their staffs as they did whatever they did, walked around with these big gold things with eagles on them. The eagle is an amazing bird. Do you know that when the storms come, the eagle does not go find a bush to hide in. The eagle does not land on the ground to just rest or struggle through it. The eagle says, screw you, I'm going to fly above the storm. I am so strong and so powerful that I'm going to rise up above the storm and wait it out. And when the storm is over, I will go back down. But I'm not going to be beaten up. I'm not going to be blown around. I'm not going to be hurt. I'm going to rise above. And I think that's a really good idea for all of us, to rise above the storms of life. Anybody can get in a fight. Anybody can have a problem. Those are easy. We have mastered that as the human species. Let's rise above it. Let's just cruise up there on the wind and wait for it all to pass. And then we'll go down and pick our lives back up. Instead of the smaller birds that are down hoping it passes soon, maybe wondering what they did wrong to create this in their lives and what kind of karma they may be living out. The eagle's just above there. And the bald head is supposed to symbolize the closer connection to spirit. So I love that. I love that bird. If I had to be a bird, I'd be an eagle. I would, because it symbolizes freedom. And I love this idea of freedom. In Science of Mind, what we learn is that our freedom is already a given. Nobody can give it to us, and therefore no one can take it away. Our freedom is not contingent upon any person, place, or thing. And so we don't have to have things all organized and right to be able to be free. Our freedom is within us. And as we choose to experience freedom, we create that freedom. And it doesn't matter what has happened in the past. It doesn't matter what we have told ourselves about whether or not we can or cannot be free. Our freedom is a God-given right. It is inherent in our nature to be free. And when we take that freedom, we can take it in any circumstance. We can take it no matter what condition is going on. This is our freedom because we are the ones who choose what we will think about, what we will talk about, and what we will believe in our lives. And if we are believing that there is some outside power that can keep us in bondage, that can take away the opportunity for us to experience life the way we want it, if we think that there's someone whose approval is not coming, and we give our power away to that, we are no longer free. But we did that. We did that. The ability to create and experience bondage, limitation, and suffering is simply a demonstration of our freedom. Here we are, these amazing spiritual beings alive on planet Earth, and made out of infinite substance, made out of love, made out of health and wholeness and joy. And if we are not living a prosperous, love-filled, health, whole, joy-filled life, we did that. And we did that because we're free. Because we're free. Our freedom lies in our thought. And the way we see the world is the world that we get. The way we see our lives is the life that we get. So it is up to us, it is incumbent upon us to think the thoughts that say, I am free now. I'm not going to pursue happiness. I've got it. I'm not going to try to get prosperous. I've already got it. I'm not going to try to look beautiful and gorgeous. I'm already there. When we claim that, then that's what we demonstrate. So many of us are just locked in this idea that the world happens to us. Life doesn't happen to us, we happen to life. Our life is what we have made it. And I'll grant you that a lot of people have a life that they didn't know they were making that way. They thought they could just complain for a little while and get mad for a little while and blame for a little while and that everything would work out okay. No. When we complain for a little while, when we blame for a little while, when we fight for a little while, we get that in our life. And then we look at it and go, oh, I can't do anything because these outside forces are controlling me. I am controlling my forces. I am controlling everything in my life. You are controlling everything in your life. And yet a lot of people, and a lot of us, this isn't an always kind of thing that we're always so super clear and right on target. A lot of people, and sometimes us, just a little, they think the outside is real. And so they react to that. And you know what happens when you react? When you are a puppet on a string and something or someone else is pulling your strings, then there's a very complicated process that goes on inside of you. Your limbic brain is triggered off. You go into fight or flight, which is, oh my God, there's a saber-toothed tiger coming. I've got to either, kill it or run away faster than it can chase me down and bite me. Fight or flight. And in order to allow you to be really strong to fight or to run really fast, all of your blood goes to your limbs. Your brain is left empty. It is a scientific fact. When you react, you get stupid. It happens. They can chart it. And it really takes calming down and breathing and getting it back together again before you can start to think again. That's so weird. So we don't want to be reactive in our lives. We want to understand that our freedom is never threatened. Our freedom is not given to us. And so when the founding fathers said that the government's job is to secure these traits of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, these rights, these God-given rights, I don't think so. I'm not going to rely on anybody to secure my God-given rights. They already came. I already got them. And they came from God. I don't want to filter them through some kind of a bureaucratic government agency. They don't have my rights to life, to liberty, to the pursuit of happiness. They don't have my freedom. I have that. And it is my job as a spiritual being, as a powerful being, to demonstrate that in my life. It is my job to live as if I'm alive. I'm not dead yet, so I'm going to live. I'm never going to die, so I'm going to live. It is my job to be happy. It is my job to be in my joy, to experience the liberty that is my inherent right, to have that in my life. It is my job to take it, not to wait for somebody else to bring it. Oh, well, I'll feel good about myself when my soulmate comes. Barbara, will you treat for a soulmate for me? Will you treat for my one and only soulmate so that I can fill this empty hole inside of me? I have news for you. Nobody is going to fill that hole. You are the only one that can fill that hole, and you do it by being clear about who you are. You are an amazing being, a being of light, a being of love, a being of power, creating every molecule at a quantum level in your life. Everything here is a manifestation from your consciousness. So check yourself out. You having a good time? That's you. Not so much? That's you. We are amazing. People around us just reflect our amazingness. Y'all are doing a really good job today. Nobody can take anything from us. Nobody can keep anything from us. If this were not true, and if we just did a rah, rah, go USA, and I love this country, but if it was all about look at how lucky we are, you know there are many, many countries in the world where you can't own a flag. We're all just waving our flag, running our flags up and down the flagpole, putting them on our car. There are many, many countries you are not allowed to own the flag. You're just a regular commoner. You can't have a flag. I love the flag waving. I love that. But if I were to say that we are able to have freedom and prosperity and health and happiness here because we live in the United States, then that would exclude everybody else in the country, in the world. And I believe that every person, no matter what their circumstances are, no matter what their government is, their political situation, their socioeconomic status, or the environment around them, they can be in the middle of war, they can be in the middle of famine. I believe that every person on this planet has the ability to be free and to demonstrate that freedom as health, wholeness, prosperity, love, and joy. It's not just for us, because we're in the greatest country in the world. It's not just for us, it's for all of us. We're in the greatest world in the world. It's for all of us. We are powerful, creative, spiritual beings, alive and well on planet Earth. We are doing a good job. And as soon as you get into, oh, but I can't do that because that isn't there, and I can't do that, you've lost it all. You are completely out of effect, and you've gotten very stupid. It's not criticism, it's just statement of fact. So it's stupid to blame anyone. You blame someone, you get stupid. It's stupid to resent anyone. You resent someone, you get stupid. It's stupid to look at lack and limitation. You look at lack and limitation, you get stupid because you're reacting to it instead of creating it. It's so important that we take the power that we have, enjoy it in this country. I think that we should be shining lights of what it is to be a spiritual being on planet Earth, to demonstrate prosperity and health, joy, wholeness of all kinds, so that we can show the rest of the world that you too can have that. And it doesn't matter if someone's in a prison. It doesn't matter if they're in a country that's in chaos. It doesn't matter if they just lost everything that they thought they were going to have. Surprise! It doesn't matter. We are the ones creating our lives. The freedom is inherent within us. It is so important to me that we remember the basic tenets of this teaching, that God is all that there is, and because of that, we are created out of infiniteness. There cannot be a limit on whatever God is. We are created out of infiniteness. We are created out of light. We are created out of love. We command the power of all creation to manifest into form as we see it, as we speak it, as we show it. And then it happens. I don't want to lose any of this because sometimes it's very tempting to look at, well, if they would only do this, then I could be spiritual. If they would only do that, then I could be spiritual. We had an email go out calling all centers to fight House Bill blah, blah, blah. I'm not fighting. That's crazy. That's crazy. If you fight, you lose. I've got a new one, Barbara's healthcare bill. Let's heal everybody. Let's heal everybody. Everybody on this planet as perfect, whole, and complete. Let's do that. Let's bless our elected officials. Let's not polarize against them. Let's know that they have God in them just like we do. They are us just like we are them. And so let's let them be smart. And however this demonstrates, because they can get stupid too. They can. They're reacting. They've lost all their blood flow. So to bless them, to know that right choices are being made. You know, the people who signed this Declaration of Independence, they didn't know what they were getting into. Stories are that they all lost everything that they had. Some of them were killed. They didn't know what they were getting into. I wasn't there, so I don't know this for fact. But they did it anyway. We don't know what we're getting into, but we have a faith and a trust that there is a greater way to live, that we have God-given rights, and nobody can take them away from us. Nobody can give them to us, and what other people do, no matter who they are, doesn't determine what kind of life we have. We are the only ones who determine that. We are the captains of our ship. We determine our destiny. We decide our fate. I love this country. I absolutely love it. I love clean running water and hot water because I've traveled a lot. I particularly like that about this country. But I love these ideas that say inside of every one of us is that potential to live whatever kind of a life you want to live. And it doesn't matter what your background is, what your childhood was like, how many trauma dramas you have, how many addictions you either still have or have gotten over. Doesn't matter. That inside of each one of us is the ability and the power to live the life of our dreams. I love that. I love it on a national level. I love it on a science of mind level. I love it on an individual level. I often look at myself, and when I'm going, you did that, Barbara. You did that. Because if I didn't do it, there's no way I can ever do something different. If I did it, I can do anything I want. And so I accept that freedom that for just a briefest moment, I forgot who I was and I thought I lived in a world that I was to react to, a world that had power over me. And then I stop and I go, no, you did that. You set the stage for that, you peopled it, and you acted it out. Now do something different. Do something different. If we think that our future is based on our past, we will never go anywhere. We have it in us. We live in the best country in the world. We have freedoms and opportunity on the outside that are a demonstration of us claiming it within. And I trust that as more and more people around the planet know that they have it within, then it will demonstrate on the outside in their countries also. But the United States of America does not give us our freedom. No government, no politician, no person, place, or thing determines who we are or what our lives will be. It's all up to us. And the great thing is that even if we've never done it, we can start now. And if we have done it and we've fallen off the wagon a little bit, we can get back up. And if we've done it and we're going strong, we can just keep on going. It's all inside of us. Freedom is our God-given right. Nobody else can give it to us, and nobody else can take it away. We already have it, and so it is. Now as our welcomers come forward, who's here for the very first time? Very first time. What is your name and where are you from?
I'm Joelle Emma, and I'm here from Asheville Greenworks.
Asheville Greenworks, the people who planted our bank. Thank you, Joelle. Welcome. Who else? Who's here for the first time? Welcome. Raleigh, you're from Johnson, Raleigh. You guys switched. Welcome, what's your name? Hi, Kathy. Welcome, welcome to Center for Spiritual International. Thank you. Who else is here for the first time? I'm so glad you came. Yes, yes. What? Jan? Janet. Welcome, Janet. I'm so glad you're here. I think this is an amazing place. Our welcomers are giving you a card that says, welcome home. And if you want to know things that are going on, like the amazing fire walk that's happening a week from tomorrow, no class tomorrow night, a week from tomorrow. Who are you pointing at, Ellen?
Someone up here, I thought. Raise your hand.
Welcome, welcome. What's your name? Maxine, I'm glad you're here, Maxine. Thank you. If you want to know what's going on at the center, then you can give us your address and name. If you just want email alerts, then check email only. We send out a really great newsletter every week telling you about the things that are going on. But I believe that when you come to a place like this, whether it's here or whether it's in Raleigh, I believe that something changes inside of us, that we awaken and we quicken and we vibrate to a higher level. And that when we walk out the door, everything has changed. And so the outer, being a reflection of the inner, changes as we change inside. So what a great idea you had to come to Center for Spiritual Living Asheville. I'm so glad you did. Just an invitation to those of you who are here for the first time. We have got a pile of food out there. Larry's been barbecuing. We've got baked beans, corn, and everything that everybody else brought. So please stay and have lunch with us. And remember, you're going to take your whole plate and put it in the compost with all the stuff on it. It's going to be so much fun. Now I'd like to invite our prosperity acceptors to come forward. Take out what you're going to give. Thank you for the way you so generously support this center today and every day. Thank you for all of you who watch online, all 10,000 of you. Thank you for the members of the auto giving program, those who donate on PayPal, those who go out and use the donation station in the social hall, those who put money in the baskets, those who mail in their checks. Thank you. We have a very solid footing to reach out to millions of people around this world, and we do. And you make that possible, and I'm very grateful. So what I like to do is hold the gift in my hand, bring it close to my heart. And what I know is that God is the source of all supply, that money is God in action, and we are free. I know that we are prosperous and abundant in every way. There's no limit on God. So as Spirit moves in and through our lives, lifting us to greater levels of prosperity, happiness, and wholeness, it just keeps on lifting. And I know that as we give this gift today, each of us comes together in concert and harmony to be the blessing to the world as Center for Spiritual Living, and to make this a place of peace, a beacon of light, a tower of strength, and a fountain of wisdom. And we'll repeat our investment affirmation together aloud. I freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth, knowing my gift goes with love as it touches and blesses the world. And so it is. Is blessed, because every time we give, no matter what we give, it could be a hand, it could be a hug, it could be a chant, it could be large sums of money. Whatever we give, we are always connected with that gift. And what are we but God in form as us? And so I see this room filling up from the floor to the ceiling, all between the walls, with the presence of the divine, the awareness of the presence of the divine, always here and always now. It touches us, it blesses us, it heals us, it changes our world to touch, to bless, and to heal every being on this planet. And so it is.